I'm back, guys. Don't get used to it. I'm still a bit busy, bit too busy to upload regularly, but I do have some time, and I thought, let's do it. Let's finish this game. There are 2 more routes, 2 more vessels. I think for this one,
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation, and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon.
Are you sure? What if she... I don't know... turns it against us?
Yes.
I don't care.
Turns... Okay.
We can skip this later. Fine. Guess my choices no matter.
You walk down the... Should we be... Why would you be worried about...
Just skip. Maybe this is it. I don't remember.
If by divine will... That's not... Unless you... Huh. So...
How surprised.
Okay, hold on. I'll just sit with her. Not gonna kill her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit where you're told to sit.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Hold on. Okay, let's try taking her head. What would you have me do?
Let me borrow that knife. Don't worry, you'll get it back.
But she seems confident.
Ominous.
Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows what she's doing. Oh, please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. In case you need to hear a voice of reason, it would obviously be unwise to give away your only weapon. Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us. So, what should we do? I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons. Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you.
That doesn't sound great. What about the pros?
There are none. The pros are that we can't trust him. Possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Okay, give her the knife.
Slide it over.
Here you go.
Absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess.
I don't know how.
If you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
That's fine. I don't have to move to give her the knife.
You think this will work? Interesting that you're only having us remain in place. It's almost like there are very real limits to your power.
Well, of course, he can't control me. He isn't me.
I don't know what you're talking about. The world ends if we fail, right? Her killing us might not be our only failure state, if you catch my meaning.
I don't know where you're going with this. Could you explain?
Yeah, I'm just as lost as you.
Yes, explain it.
Sure.
I'm insinuating that we could kill ourselves. Ruin this whole thing.
No, I already did that last time.
You wouldn't. I'm not afraid of dying. Are you?
Meh.
A little. You got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor.
Nice.
The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She
Whoa,
pulls
whoa,
up
whoa,
her
whoa,
head,
wait, wait.
smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat.
Wait.
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck.
No.
Her eyes
Get ready for some nasty
blinking. Her
teeth.
smile unwavering as she soars through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck.
Why didn't I just look away? I wanted to be cool.
I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why did she do that?
Oh, of course you're enjoying this, you sick fuck.
Huh. So that's her play.
Killing herself?
She isn't dead yet.
Finally,
Oh.
you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet.
So no head?
Oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back.
I got an idea.
The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world.
Fuck you.
Are you sure she's not winking at us?
Obviously not. She is thoroughly deceased.
Dead. The head, even if it's detached, it can move for a few minutes, but that's
hate
just
this.
what.
Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
We should take her with us, don't you think?
Good idea.
What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that?
I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right?
Yeah.
You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
Okay, now really, fuck you.
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them.
I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things, the danger has passed. You can relax.
I will read into things until hell freezes over.
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
And I'm willing to bet that hell has frozen over in this universe.
I am. I'm on team, let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already?
Take the princess with... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna... Empty slot. Just to see what happens.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty.
Yeah,
The door. Check the door.
we all know what happens next, don't we?
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Like hell it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip.
I'm so glad you'll keep. That's
I want to
event.
see... Good ending!
No, you stop that.
Oh!
Stop all this nonsense.
You really don't want to be happy, do you?
That's
We still
amazing.
have a...
Suggesting.
Oh, I wonder what happens.
All
when we do
right. I'll make this quick.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
Yeah, fine.
this. Okay, Now we're gonna load. Take the head. Jesus.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
No emptiness this time.
She didn't. She's dead.
Except for in her eyes.
But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find.
Looks like it's safe from certain doom to me.
Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
Whoa!
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already... over? Is he gone?
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
Don't worry about it. But you don't get the chance to respond. Something has taken her away and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Let's go.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
Yeah, I started a new save for this because this is just a one-off. It don't matter.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Let's just go.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
Ignore the voices. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach for it. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. Yeah. Let's skip this. It's the long quiet. Approach her. Weird.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Okay, what up?
Yes. Nerves. This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
Okay, what happens now?
Nothing, There is. Bring me.
Let's go.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die. Come on. Yay! Okay, this is the final vessel I have to find, so we're gonna take our time. Like this. If you consider that maybe the only reason she's going to ruin the world is because she's locked up, I saw the stranger route.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Well, at least
It's
you're
no
not
use
using
arguing
Pascal's
semantics over
wager.
a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
I ain't doing this.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Can someone else do it?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
So why doesn't she end the
I'm
world?
talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
I'm a bird.
You have to put an end to her.
If you don't tell me why she's dangerous, I'm not gonna kill her.
She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out, which she will unless you do something about it.
Evidence?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task?
Maybe I live here.
You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
What happens if she gets out? I want specifics.
The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her, because listening to her is in their nature. And when they do, everything will come crashing down.
So is she like gonna start a world war? I'll talk to her. I'll go to the cabin, I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap
42.
you in her web of lies.
Answer
The
to
more
everything.
you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Don't worry about me, I'm not a bee.
Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Oh.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
Don't worry about it.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward.
No, don't do
Your
that.
grip on the blade tightening.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason. So,
She's unarmed.
I'm not dropping the blade.
then I'm not talking to you.
squint at the princess.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you? You squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
against.
I wanted to get the staring contest achievement. Hold on. Okay, never mind. There is no staring contest achievement. Whatever. Awkward start to a relationship. That's what she said. Relationship. Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Okay. I'm here because you're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
I want to hear her side of the
That's
story.
cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of... monster? If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous?
Yeah, why did she end up here? Is my microphone still working? Turn microphone on. Okay, so it's still working, it's on. I was hoping... I'm more inclined to trust you than I'm inclined to trust them.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
Whatever,
How sweet.
Dad.
Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Yeah. But just a few more questions.
Fine. What do you want to know?
I just, how would I... What is your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Okay, Your Excellency.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Reminds me of someone else. How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
If I
I'm
can't...
guessing you don't
she
have
can't-
the key then.
Forget it.
I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Good idea, we can cut the chains.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. Right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I was gonna ask what you're gonna do, but, like, that's not an option. So, I'm getting you out of here.
You have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Yep, is it still... yeah. Microphone on. Sorry, this is messing with me. I'll just be right back. Sorry, it's just like microphone icon disappeared on my taskbar. It was nagging me. So...
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
If there's not a key, any idea of cutting you out of here?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
What?
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else
What?
here?
Hey, let me out of here!
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. I'll
it.
repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh.
Ouch.
The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Okay.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Are we sure this is still the fucking... Okay, just to be safe, I'm gonna load this again. Okay, you know, maybe these options aren't, like, grayed out because, like, I didn't do the, prisoner route in this playthrough yet, like, in this file yet. Let's see, it was Damsel, and then I did the Spectre, I think the Razor, or the Razor. Was it the Witch, or was that on the second row? Razor. I know it was the Spectre and the Damsel. Let's see. There was also... Was it the Beast? Damn, why don't I remember the other routes I did? Razor. No, wait, now you got it. Razor. Witch. It was the Nightmare, because it's Halloween. Razor, Witch. Now it's this one. It was either Razor or something else.
Stop that.
But point is, this is the fifth one, this is the final one.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
Bah!
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
Wait, what did you mean by...
This is the end,
Ugh.
isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Prisoner. Overwrite.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. I should have, like, done another route to check if, like, the options were grayed out. And whatever, who cares? I'm wise to your tricks, you bastard!
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
It probably would have been the same, right? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
The absolute irony. That's one way to put it, I guess.
You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
I hope to God you don't have a girlfriend or boyfriend.
Sure you are.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything?
Fuck you.
If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul.
Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are.
Four of us. Oh, right. Wait. Oh, four of us.
You're talking in circles.
No, I'm talking in facts.
Talk about the princess.
Just be quick about it.
How is she supposed to end the world, huh?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
What proof could you possibly ask for?
I don't know, someone other than you.
Literally anything. Fine.
Someone
Check
other
your
than you
pockets.
telling me that the princess is a threat. Okay.
You put your hands
Wait,
in
why
your
am I
pockets
pockets?
and
I'm a
pull out an
bird.
envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth."
That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting?
Yeah, we already know you can take control of us. And let's assume that I did write this and that this is true. How do you define stop? Stopping doesn't necessarily mean I have to kill her. I could reason with her.
I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to?
Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk.
I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
Who lost her?
People.
Oh, why me?
Look,
Because you're
I'm not
special.
supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Yes. Right. We're here because we're special.
Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking
All
clock right now,
this
so please
together.
just get to the cabin.
Fine.
Great, now if
Fucking bozo.
A
Take this.
warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Did you just say wink out loud?
Well, he doesn't have eyes. He's just a voice in my head.
No, I didn't.
Wink.
Wink.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
If I'm a clown, you're the circus! Come on, baby. Come on, baby. What's the
The
name?
interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon.
1
A few
million
pathetic wisps of
years
starlight
dungeon!
attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
That.
Reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
But there was a mirror a second ago.
And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
That sounds disgusting. Why would I peel my eyes? This whole cabin is different from last time.
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely.
Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
Okay, take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Good idea.
Damn it.
Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
I was hoping to fucking reverse psych you so I could go in there without the blade. Yeah, whatever. Having a weapon is very different from actually using
The
it.
door to the
Gandhi
basement
said that.
creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
You
Hello.
walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
So much for cutting her out of here.
Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
Yeah, maybe it was designed for another prisoner?
That was there last time too, wasn't it?
It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Leave the princess in the base. Sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
There we go.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit where you were told to sit. What happens if I sit closer? I want to cover all my bases, so...
Do you think this is a game? Do you think these chains take away my say in things?
What?
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if the roles were reversed?
Yeah, almost as if pointing a weapon at someone will evoke the same reaction as if you were to use that weapon on them. And we shouldn't blame someone for attacking someone if they have a weapon and they point that weapon at them.
I don't know. How about we think about the nuances of interpersonal relationships when we're not being strangled? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
Trap it!
As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor, the princess releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away with a swift kick. Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
She pulls up
Nope. Not doing that again.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
My intentions. What do you mean?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
That can't be right.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Shut up.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
No, it is not. You've been here before. Am I the only one? Who remembers that?
Oh? Are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true.
Oh, wow.
As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use.
It's
This
no
has
use.
Complicated things.
It's complicated things. How exactly?
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Now hold on, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles.
I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself.
Reminds me of another game I played.
What happened before? Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky. So don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much.
Yeah, sometimes knowing things is dangerous.
Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Good, shut up.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
What happened last time?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
How am I supposed to cut you? That other chain on the wall. Who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
How am I supposed to cut you out? Your head is in a shackle, too.
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
Yeah, I saw that once, did not like it.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we
I think
do?
we're all agreed, don't hand her the knife.
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros.
Yeah,
and
we already
cons.
heard this. Okay. Let's just inspect. I'm not gonna cut her out. I want her to be there in one piece. Let's inspect that
I
shackle.
wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
Worst case scenario, I have to lose an arm or a leg.
What? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Inspect the shackle.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad?
Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Ah, shit.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade,
What?
which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
What on my neck? Why couldn't it have been my leg? I could have lost a leg.
Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Become your own jailer.
Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
No, there has to be another way.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Yeah. What should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
So we're both stuck here?
Yep.
Did you know this was gonna happen to me?
No.
Huh. Not one for small talk, are you?
Nope.
That's rude.
She's honest, at least she's honest.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
Give it time.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same.
If I had that knife, maybe
It
I
is
could...
cold and silent.
If I had that knife, maybe I could wedge out one of the bricks, use it to break the chains.
At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
She's just sitting there chained to a wall. How's she gonna end the world?
But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there.
Menacingly.
Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
Misogynist.
How exactly does that work? It just does. But you're like, let me guess.
Shit. You're not fucking skipping. I don't care. This is getting long enough. The cabin remains the same.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work. I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first. A bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there. But then they get larger. And larger.
And notice, no change on the... Huh. Have you noticed that the basement is changing?
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude. You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
Lichen is a hybrid of a fungus and a plant, like fungus and moss.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
Yeah, and even if the princess can't starve, she's not Asian.
She hasn't starved. I guess she hasn't.
Time has no effect on us. That's cool.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And... I think he's gone.
We're free.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Woohoo!
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
That was the final vessel I had to return. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
There's that mirror again. It's going to be okay. Just trust me. You've been here before and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
It's not the end. Whatever on the other side, it's nice.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
Feels too good to be true.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Let's see what happens. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Is that earthing? Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
What? Ugh! A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image and the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
5. Oh! Are you... We gotta choose our questions carefully. Have you been the same you all along. Whatever. What are you? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him.
What?
Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Others like you. So, you've said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Anymore. After everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live?
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
Do you have anything to say? For all this? For all this hubris?
I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
Why did you lie to me? What is the princess? Did you make her too?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die. She becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
If I destroy her, won't I be alone? Why would you want me to destroy the concept of transformation? Huh?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed.
Death is supposed to happen. Or even different from death at all. Honestly, it feels worse. If I destroy her, how is that existence any better than death? Or even different from death at all? It feels worse.
When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
But we all have to. Won't I be alone?
Yes, you will, but it will all be worth it.
What would it be like to live in a world without her?
Light, burdenless, an eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear, no more howling chaos. Just life, forever. There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself.
I'll never be able to see it either. Run out of questions. We have time for one more question. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I still have to see what she thinks about all this. I'm not going to slay her, and I want you to know that before you die good. I think you're out of time.
So I am. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin. One last time. A guarded vessel. Bring the prisoner to her. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. That can't be right. Where's the... Whoa! Oh my god!
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I've missed you too. She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response and then patiently waits for you to continue. Do you know about the Echo? Do you know about that conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
Death is as natural as life. And the life requires death. So I'm the Long Quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the Echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Don't you have a say in all this? Open the final doors. I never once believed that her existence would end the world. I think it's time for us to leave this place, but I don't know how to leave or where to go.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
Free yourself. You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings span in a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonized tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
I love you.
Take her hand. All at once the unyielding tension breaks. Oh my god. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
My god. There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality. Something that simply is. What happens now?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Hell yeah, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension! You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist, and you are aware, just as you have always been, and just as you always will be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. There are no endings, only new beginnings. Yay! Holy shit, those are all done by the same voice actor, Nicole Goodnight and Jonathan Sims. Damn! Oh, got it. Ugh. So, I did it. I came here what I set out to do. I saved the princess. And, what happens next? Trevor Henderson? The Trevor Henderson? Siren Head guy? Arasan, finish the game. The good ending doesn't count. I could have hit the UI the whole time. Well, that's it. I'll see you guys a few days from now, more than a few days, with a new game. I have so many games that I would like to do Let's Plays of. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.